Mia, an IT professional, wakes from a coma to find her job and fiancé stolen by a colleague, Emma. With her friend Sophia's help, Mia exposes Emma's deceit and involvement in her accident. Mia then starts her own company, secures a contract with her former employer, and moves forward, leaving her unfaithful ex-fiancé behind.
Hi, everyone. Welcome to Drama of Destiny. This story we're about to tell has a shocking twist beyond your imagination. First, let's get started.
Too bad, there's no place for you to return to. I don't understand what Emma means by that. Beside her is my fiancé, Daniel, who is standing slumped over. What do you mean? Daniel, say something. I'm sorry, Mia. I'm really sorry. Oh, because we're getting married, and I'm already pregnant. At that moment, I realized that when faced with something truly shocking, your mind goes completely blank. I was left speechless, in utter shock. Well, I guess we won't be seeing each other at work anymore. Good luck. I'm rooting for you. Come on, Daniel. With that, Emma crossed arms with Daniel and walked away. What just happened? I can't believe I lost my jobs and my fiancé too. What should I do now? As I stood there in despair, a woman came up to me. Mia, it's been a while. How have you been? I'm Mia. I work at an IT company. I've loved playing with computers since I was a kid, always dreaming of working in IT. My dad supported that dream. I majored in programming in college and got a job at my current company right after graduation. The workplace expected long hours and unpaid overtime, but by using a system I developed, we improved efficiency and the work environment got better and better. Because of my achievements, I became the first female manager at the company. I say this with some pride, but I was considered a promising talent in the company. There was another reason why I could do my best every day. It is the presence of Daniel. He is my boss and also my fiancé. He mentored me well as a new graduate, and I worked hard to live up to his guidance. As we shared hardships and joys together in this way, we eventually came to have feelings for each other. Daniel and I had the same approach to work, and after finishing our tasks, we'd spend hours talking over dinner, losing track of time. When I became a manager, Daniel got promoted too, and we tackled even more challenging tasks. My professional and personal life were both incredibly fulfilling. One day, while enjoying dinner with Daniel as usual, he suddenly said, Mia, I have something important to tell you. What is it? I want you to be my partner for life, not just at work. His sudden proposal brought me to tears. I immediately said yes. The restaurant staff celebrated with us, sharing in our joy. I was on cloud 9. But then, something happened that shattered those happy days. It was when I was out for a meeting with a client. I was waiting at a crosswalk for the light to change when someone pushed me hard from behind. At that moment, my memory stopped. I found myself in a hospital bed. A nurse noticed I was awake and called the doctor loudly. Soon after, my parents rushed into the room, grabbing my hands and crying. What felt like an instant to me had actually been a year in a coma. The doctors had told my parents I might never wake up. The doctors said it was a miracle I woke up. For the first few days after regaining consciousness, I was confused and couldn't grasp what had happened. But as I heard more about it, I started to piece it together. Apparently, I was pushed into the street and hit by a car that day. Fortunately, I avoided a head-on collision, but I hit my head when I fell and lost consciousness. A quick rescue saved my life, but I was unconscious for a year. The car that hit me hasn't been found since there were no witnesses. As my physical condition started to improve, my worries began to increase. I had been asleep for a year. What happened to my jobs? Thinking back, not a single colleague came to visit me. Even Daniel didn't contact me. As I was pondering this, 2 visitors arrived. They were my colleagues, Emma and Daniel. Emma joined the company at the same time as I did. Petite and glamorous, she had the looks of an idol and was adored by the male employees from the start. I remember the men taking turns helping her with her work. She wasn't very enthusiastic about her job, so the female employees didn't like her. I wondered why she was with Daniel, but more than that, I was overjoyed to see him and couldn't help but shout out, Daniel, you came, I'm so happy. However, Daniel just looked down and said nothing. Mia, you really woke up. I thought you'd never wake up. I noticed the malice in Emma's voice. She continued, "It's unfortunate, but there's no place for you to return to. You've been fired from the company." I couldn't understand what she was saying. "And your position is now mine. Sorry for your loss." Beside her, my fiancé Daniel stood in silence. "What do you mean? Daniel, say something." "I'm sorry, Mia. I'm really sorry." While I was asleep, Emma had taken over everything I had built. I don't know how she did it. Apparently, she told the executives that the system I developed was her creation. The executives, who rarely came to the site, believed her. Since I had no prospect of being discharged, they fired me and gave my position to Emma. I had everything I worked for taken away by her. "Oh, and we're getting married. I'm already pregnant." At that moment, I realized that when faced with something truly shocking, your mind goes completely blank. I was left speechless, in utter shock. "I can make him happier than you ever could. So, don't see Daniel anymore." "Well, we won't be seeing you at work anyway. Good luck. I'm rooting for you." "Come on, Daniel." With that, Emma crossed arms with Daniel and walked away. What just happened? I can't believe I lost my job and my fiancé too. What should I do now? As I stood there in despair, a woman came up to me. "Mia, it's been a while. How have you been?" It was Sophia, a former colleague. Sophia was the first friend I made when I joined the company. Like me, she loved computers and had been tinkering with them since she was a kid. She had a genius for programming. We always talked about programming over lunch. She was headhunted and left the company shortly after. We kept in touch with occasional calls and meet-ups, but I hadn't seen her since before the accident. When I heard you woke up, I rushed over. "Is everything okay?" Seeing the stunned look on my face, Sophia asked me with concern. I told her everything that had happened. I must have felt relieved. Tears started to flow naturally. Sophia listened attentively while rubbing my back. "It must have been tough, Mia." With her kind words, I started crying loudly. "I'll be fine. It's a tower in the sand when someone who is not good enough takes the post." She has a habit of quoting idioms and proverbs. Feeling a bit nostalgic, my tears naturally stopped. "Mia, those arrogant people need to be taught a lesson." "Arrogant people? What does that mean?" "It means people who look down on others." I'm quite angry. Her usual demeanor made me laugh unintentionally. I was shocked, but laughing made me feel better. "That's right, this is wrong. I will definitely get back at them." "Mia, with my current job, I can do something about this." Listening to her, I came up with a plan for revenge. From that day, Sophia started staying at my houses. She didn't say much, and when I asked questions, she dodged them. But it seems she's living abroad now. Nevertheless, her work was as impressive as ever, and she quickly started improving the system I had developed using my computer. As I made lunch for her, I couldn't help but be impressed by her efficiency. While we were having lunch together, I asked her, "How did you update the system I made?" I dabble in AI as a hobby. I programmed it to maintain itself automatically. And I added a little something extra. She smiled mischievously. After that, she would get up early, work efficiently until lunch, and then we would have lunch together. She also took me out, showing concern for my well-being. Spending time with her, I felt completely rejuvenated. One day, my phone started ringing repeatedly in the morning. It was Emma. How did she get my number? I was too scared to answer, but Sophia, seeing my hesitation, gestured for me to pick up the phone, so I did, nervously. As soon as I answered, I heard her screaming so loudly that I could hear her even with the phone away from my ear. "What the hell? None of the computers at the company are working. The usual system isn't functioning. You did something, didn't you? Fix it." Sophia smiled knowingly, as if to say, "I knew it." It turns out that when Sophia made modifications to the system, she actually updated the specifications to lock the system if someone steals or misuses someone else's data. She also programmed it to keep records of who accessed what data. Emma must have repeatedly made unauthorized accesses, just as she did when she stole my data. It is understandable that she would be impatient if all the computers in the company stopped working due to Emma's misconduct. "It's time to settle this, Mia. Let's go." We headed to the company. I was taken to the company's conference room and was shocked. It was no surprise to see Emma with a red face, but even Daniel and the executives were there. As soon as we sat down, Emma started shouting, "President, it's them. They ruined all the company's computers." Overwhelmed by her rage, Sophia quietly began to speak. "Hello everyone, nice to meet you. It's been a while, President. I'm Sophia, Mia's business partner. I was helping her start a business after she was fired. All I did was update the program Mia created a bit. So, it's your fault. What did you do to the company's computers? No, I just updated the system Mia created. Why are you still using a system made by someone you fired?" Emma started to panic. "Emma, isn't this system supposed to be your creation?" "Yes, that's right. This system is mine." "Oh, then why can't you fix this error? Why are you blaming me? It was originally Mia's creation. You messed with it." Emma looked horrified as she realized what she had said. "President, didn't you fire Mia? And this system was created by her personally. So why is it still being used? If she was fired, the rights to the system should belong to her. Why is Emma acting like she's in charge?" Emma had nothing to say and looked down. The executives' gazes grew sterner. "If what Sophia is saying is true, then we need to conduct a thorough investigation and take severe action. I am truly sorry for both Mia and Sophia. Also, from my personal contacts, I found some interesting information. I'd like everyone to see it." A video was projected onto the company's screen. It was footage from right before my accident. The car's license plate was unclear, which was why they couldn't identify the culprit. "Everyone, let's zoom in here." In the passenger seat of that car was Emma. "I work in system development for a private security company abroad. I have some connections with Japanese companies, and they provided me with this video." "Emma, were you involved in Mia's accident? Was your plan to take over the system premeditated?" "No, that's fabricated." Emma was flustered. Next to her, Daniel looked pale. "If you insist, we can take this to the police, along with your communication records with your cronies within the company." Emma's face turned from red to blue in an instant. "Executives, it will take 2 or 3 hours to restore the system, but remember, this system belongs to Mia. Any further work should be done under a proper contract." Sophia took my hand and said, "Mia, let's go," and we left the conference room together. Later, the president personally apologized to both Sophia and me and arranged a meeting to discuss the contracts. Even though the president wasn't aware of the situation, he offered a generous settlement, including severance pay, consolation money, and other compensations. We also secured an exclusive contract for the system. Sophia suggested that I start my own company, and she continued to support me from abroad until it was established and running smoothly. She now serves as an external director for my company. Emma ended up in prison. She had used her charm to manipulate numerous male employees, making them do her work and spoil her. Not satisfied with that, she targeted my fiancé Daniel and came up with this scheme. Seeing me become the first female manager in the company, she wanted to mimic a career woman and aimed for my career. She meticulously orchestrated the accident with her cronies. Her only mistake was using the company's computers for all communications. Some employees hesitated to harm me, but Emma coerced them with harsh words, leaving evidence. Fortunately, the driver hesitated for a moment, sparing my life, but everyone involved was guilty. Although this altercation resulted in a large number of layoffs at the company, the president did not seem bothered by the fact that only good people remained. Thanks to the system Sophia and I created, productivity actually increased. My fiancé Daniel became my ex-fiancé. It seems that while I was unconscious, Daniel accepted Emma, who pretended to comfort him. She claimed she was pregnant and they were getting married, so he even helped her take over my system. When it was revealed that Emma's pregnancy was a lie, Daniel tried to contact me to reconcile. I can't trust someone who easily follows any woman who approaches him. I said this and blocked his number. I also sent the evidence of his collusion with Emma to the company. I haven't heard from him since, so he must be out of the company now. Work is still the most fun for me. I am now fully dedicated to my work, making up for the time I lost while I was unconscious. As I build my independent career and expand my network, I'm sure I'll meet someone even better than Daniel. So I don't feel the need to rush things anymore.
Thank you for watching the video until the end. If you enjoyed the story, please give it a like. If you're interested in other stories, please subscribe to the channel. I'll see you in the next video. Thank you very much.